Talk about another wide receiver, a rookie wide receiver. We're seeing these breakouts. It's almost an incremental thing at this point. Every single week, we're seeing a rookie wide receiver break out. Early on, we saw CeeDee Lamb. Then it was Justin Jefferson.
This class is living up to the hype.
It's
man.
unreal. And it's the wide receivers that outperform the running backs as far as I'm concerned. After that Justin Jefferson explosion, we had guys like T. Higgins go off for over 20 fantasy points. We've seen things happening with Henry Ruggs, Chase Claypool. Both of those guys exploded last week. But let's talk about Henry Ruggs. How are you valuing Henry Ruggs right now in fantasy? Obviously, in Dynasty, he's pretty high. He has the draft capital. He had the explosion in this game. We're seeing the way he's used in this offense. But for redraft purposes, are you in on Henry Ruggs? Because I'm starting to see him as like a Hollywood Brown type of receiver where it's limited volume, but when he gets that volume, you're going to be really happy.
That's what I was going to say.
Really?
I literally was going to say exactly he's a Hollywood Brown. I mean, he's the number one on his team. He's in an offense that doesn't necessarily have a ton of passing volume. You'll actually argue that the Raiders do have more passing volume than Baltimore, and he's that downfield threat, that boom or bust guy. And I do think of him as a Hollywood Brown, maybe a Hollywood Brown light in a way. But what we saw this week, like this is what he does. This is the upside he presents. 2 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. Week 1, before he did leave with that injury, he had 3 for 55 and also had a couple rushing attempts. So I think they're going to start working him in. Only the 3 targets this week. That's a little bit concerning. But I do think moving forward, when Ruggs gets healthy, this was his first game back after that injury, they're going to continue to work him in. He's on a bye this week, so people might not pick him up on waivers after the big game. So it could be a really good opportunity to go ahead and stash him. But I'm in as a flex. I mean, he's right in that category of someone you throw in your lineup and you hope for the boom week. Yeah, he's going to disappoint. Sometimes it's not always going to be there because the volume isn't going to be there. But he's a very interesting pickup to me, and I really do like him.
Yeah, I see even more upside for Ruggs than I do in Hollywood Brown because of that volume. We know the Ravens are going to run the most in the league. They're on pace to do that. They did that last year. Whereas with Derek Carr right now, he's on pace to throw the ball 560 times. And when you give him some additional weapons like Henry Ruggs, they even have Bryan Edwards in there who might emerge later on in the year.
Carr's throwing it deep, finally.
Well, at least in this most recent game, we saw that. But he's on pace for 560 pass attempts. That's about where he's been and multiple times throughout his career. In 2014, he was at 600 pass attempts. 2015, 570. In 2016, he threw 560. Even as recent as 2018, he had 553 pass attempts. So we've seen him sustain that type of volume before. I think we could see it again this season. This Raiders team is very sneaky. I think they're ready to compete. We saw that. I mean, they took on the Chiefs head on and won with some clutch plays from their defense. But Henry Ruggs being out there, being able to stretch the field, he's going to be more than just a D threat that pulls away defenders. This guy's going to score touchdowns, and he's going to be able to do a lot with it. I'm pretty excited for Ruggs. He is going to be boom bust. Rookie wide receivers are extremely volatile. We're even seeing that from Justin Jefferson, who has even a more solidified role. But Ruggs has, for all intents and purposes, the full ability to take over this offense, be the guy there, even be like a Tyreek Hill as far as his ceiling goes, just on a slightly worse offense.
Yeah, Steph, I want to get a gut check in redraft for Henry Ruggs with some of these rookie wide receivers. I'll start out easy, and I just want you to let me know who you would take rest of season. We'll talk PPR here. Henry Ruggs, or we'll start out easy, Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm going Ruggs there. Easy.
Yep. Henry Ruggs or T. Higgins.
I'd probably go T. Higgins in this one just because I think Higgins has everything that Ruggs is going to have, plus then some, because of the passing volume that's going to be there. Burrow's throwing in a ton.
Ruggs or Chase Claypool?
Oh, give me Ruggs all day there.
And Claypool's going to be the hot waiver wire pickup this week. You can probably get Ruggs if he's out there for, half of what you're going to have to pay for Claypool.
Yeah, Claypool to me is the classic overpay off, chase the points. And with Deontay Johnson out of the lineup, it's very feasible that Claypool has a couple more startable weeks. But if Deontay Johnson comes back, I think we see Claypool be the number 3 on that depth chart. Anything else to add here on Henry Ruggs?
Ruggs is only rostered in around 50% of leagues. He's going into the bye. Great opportunity to pick up a great high upside flex option this week.